Hello, everyone. This is Ashely Sellers, speech language pathologist and owner and operator of Speech, Language, and Beyond. I know it's been such a long time since you all have heard from me, and I pray that you all are doing well. But just like you all, my family and I, we are coping with this COVID-19 pandemic. And it's changed the way that we also work. So right now, my office is open only one day a week right now, and I'm mainly working online providing early intervention services to children that are between the ages of birth and 3. And what I am noticing is that a lot of our babies are having so much difficulty getting to those first words. And that is why I'm choosing to share this video with you today. So I hope that you will stay tuned in, that you will take advantage of the information that's being offered, and I'm hoping to turn this into a series. So that's why it's called Selecting First Word Targets, but I wanted to talk with you first about the most common first words that children typically will say. So in this next clip, before I get into the meat of the topic, I'm asking you to bear with me, because the reason why I'm able to share this information with you in the format and in the order that I'm choosing to share it with you is because of my relationship with a company called Medbridge.
So what I was talking to you about was a company called Medbridge. They are a company that offers continuing education units for speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, among other professions. I love Medbridge so much because the way that their platform is set up, I always leave out of each course knowing that I'm prepared to go and apply new strategy techniques or information to my sessions that's only going to make them better.
To quickly go ahead and get us through this part, I'm sorry that I had to switch over from you seeing my face to now seeing this image. I was beginning to realize during editing that the visual and the audio was not syncing together, and I did not want to upload something of that quality. But to continue with what I was saying, what you're going to do is choose courses based on your profession and the particular population that you're targeting through your profession. And once you do that, you also want to make sure that the courses that you're taking, that you're actually going to get credit for. So you want to make sure that it's been approved by your state licensing board. You want to make sure that it's also been approved by your national organization, which for us as speech language pathologists is the American Speech Language Hearing Association. So once you've done all of that, then you go in and you begin to view the course. When you view the course, it's set up as a lecture. You're going to have someone that's actually right there presenting to you as if you were sitting in a classroom. Those lectures also will contain videos. It will contain interviews. It will contain live examples of any strategies or techniques that they're trying to show you, in addition to dividing the lecture up in chapters. And between each chapter, you are asked a series of questions or given a case study that refers to the information that you previously learned. It is graded, but at the same time, if you do not pass the course, it does not count against you because you've taken that time out to review the course. And I believe that there is consideration for you taking the course in an area that may have been a weakness for you, or an area that you may not be as familiar with, that you want to familiarize yourself with, so they don't count it against you. I also like the fact that as you go through the presentation or you go through the lecture, they have direct resources that you can download and begin to use that same day in therapy, from charts to graphs to developmental checklists, interview questions, examples of therapy techniques, all of those things, physical things that you can actually use and apply. So on this next slide, what I'm actually going to show you is the course that I'm basing this video off of, about using the most common words. In this course, this was a section that stood out to me, and I was able to get a lot of ideas on information that I wanted to present from you from the course. So let's go ahead and see that. So as you can see, it says right here in the corner, review course. So when you're going in to choose your course, and I want to choose one for first words, when this popped up, I was able to press this button and it gave me an overview of what the class was actually going to be about before I started it. And this is the particular lecture that I chose, which is what I'm basing this video off of. So it's first words, assessments, and speech therapy goals. So as you can see, this is a great tool to invest in. I love the fact, if you see up here, it says education and training. That is for the professionals. Patient engagement, guys, when I tell you, you can find videos, articles, handouts that you can give out to your families and to your patients directly. You can give them access to you can either download it and give it to them directly through email, or you can give them a link directly that goes into an exercise plan or a speech therapy plan or just a general therapy plan that you have created just for them in order for them to have access to. So it is worth the investment. Not only is it good for the professionals themselves who are trying to update their license, it's also good for the patients that we serve, because they also get something out of it, and they can actually see the platform that you're using in order for you to stay up to date with the things that you're trying to teach them. So I hope that you will consider signing up for Medbridge. Go back and you will see that there's a link that you can click that has my promo code. You put that in and you can sign on. So thank you for listening, and now we're going to get into the meat of what it is I wanted to share with you today. So let's get into the meat of what I really wanted to talk with you all about. And it was the most common first words. And I decided to start with that topic because there are so many activities out there on first words, from books to puzzles to, YouTube videos or the DVDs that people ask you to get. It's just a lot of those things out there. And most times you're going to find the first 50 words, the first 100 words, and that can be so overwhelming. Through the class that I took with Medbridge, the presenter of the course actually presented through research what the most common first words were, and I thought that it would be great to share that with you all because it will give you a focal point on where to start with your little ones. And as you notice from the pictures that you're seeing on the screen, this is something that I do have available on my website if you want to print this out so you can keep up with what the most common first words are. And as it says here, these are the words that children typically begin to say between the ages of 18 to 24 months. So with that being said, we know that our babies don't come out of the womb speaking. When we first have our little ones fresh out of the womb, and I mean this seriously, when you first pick up that baby, the first thing that you want to do is learn how to hold them in a way where you are establishing eye contact with them. Joint attention and turn-taking skills are the two foundational skills of communication. And if you are someone who has followed my channel and really looked at my videos in depth, you will know that these are two things that I talk about all the time. And one thing that I tell my parents as well, if your child is not listening to what you say, then we assume that they're not processing what they hear, and therefore they're not holding on to any information that you're offering them, and therefore will have difficulty responding to what you tell them to do. Before the words come, there needs to be understanding. Your goal as a parent with a typically developing child, or even a child that's already been identified with a speech delay, is to make sure that your children are listening, attending, they are alert and aware of things that are going on in their environment, and most importantly, that they are taking in the information that you say. And the way that you establish that is right out of the womb when you begin to feed your baby, hold your baby, change their diaper. You establish that eye contact. When moms are breastfeeding or even giving them the bottle, you can use that time to establish that eye contact and to use that mother ease or baby talk with your baby. As your baby progresses to about 3 to 5 months old, you can sit them on the boppy pillow or put them in their little what do we call it, you know how we have the little car seats, but the little baby carriers, have them in front of you and talk with them and engage with them, make them giggle, make them laugh. You can use the mother ease or the baby talk, but you can also use real words with them as well. What you want to establish is them being engaged, them being used to the sound of your voice, them being used to looking you in the face or looking you in your eyes when you speak to them. You can also use diaper change or bathing as a time to do that, because most times you're laying them on their back. That is a good time to establish that eye contact. And what's going to happen as your child gets older, they're going to start using the babble and the vocal play, and then you can shape those vocalizations into real words. And the way that you do that is by embedding the language that you want them to learn in the natural environment. You want to provide your baby, your toddler, your preschooler with a running dialogue all day of everything they are doing, of everything that they are coming into contact with. So what I want you to do is to take a look at these words, find a way to, incorporate them into your day, incorporate them into your spirit so you'll know what they are. If you are interested in knowing what these are, you can find these on my website. You can also click the link in the description box. And up next, I am going to show you an example of a daily speech routine that you can use in order for you to incorporate the use of these exact same words into your baby's schedule in order for you to become more intentional about using them and introducing them until your baby becomes more comfortable with saying them. Okay?
All right, you all. So we are wrapping things up now, and I am just presenting to you now how I told you we could take those most commonly used first words and embed them within our child's daily routine. So if you look at this sheet, it really does break the day down. Most likely, all of us are going to do this, especially children, during some part of their day. The morning wake up routine, getting dressed, mealtime, snack time, the bathing routine, playtime, outdoor play, and the nighttime routine. So as you will notice on this schedule, all I've done is taken these most commonly used first words, and I'm showing you how you can embed them within different parts of your day. So for example, if we look right here where it says morning wake up routine, we can target the words hi, mommy, and daddy. And what I'm kind of thinking in my head is that after we have had a long night of sleep, it is typical for us to go over into our child's room and to pick them up. When you take that initiative to pick them up, you are looking them in the face, and that's when you want to say hi or good morning, mommy or daddy, we missed you last night. How did you sleep? You establish that time to engage with them. You refer to yourself as mommy or daddy or grandmama or nana, so they know who you are and how to refer to you. Then as you move on throughout the next part of the morning with getting dressed, or you may do the bath time routine next. Let's say you do the bath time routine next. As you are getting them undressed to get in the bathtub and then getting them out to get them dressed, you can use that time to talk about eyes, ears, and nose. So you can point them out on yourself and then look in the mirror and have the child point it out on the child so that they can see it. When you're bathing them, you want to put a lot of bubble bath
pads in the water and talk about the bubbles and pop them. If they have a toy duck or a toy fish that they can play with in the water, you can use that time to name those items, to talk about them, to describe them. Once you're out and you're getting dried off, you can sing songs like head, shoulders, knees, and toes and have them point out, or you point out those body parts on them. It's repetitive and they're able to hear those same body parts being listed over and over again. They can get used to the rhythm of the song. Also, when you're getting them dressed, you can begin to name some of the clothing items that they're putting on. So if they're wearing a hat that day, oh, look at your hat. Your hat is blue. The hat goes on your head, and you can play a game. Hat off, hat on. Oh, arms up. Let's put on your shirt. Oh, arms down. Now we have your shirt on. Oh, here's your shoe. We're going to get your shoe and we're going to put it on your foot. So those are the ways that you want to be able to engage with them. Now, I know that this sounds simple, but I'm telling you, you guys, it is and it's not at the same time. It's easy if you're being intentional about it. If you are always reminding yourself, okay, I want my child to learn those words. I want them to acquire them within a timely manner, within that 12 to 24 month frame. And so if you get up with that intentionality, yes, it is easy. But as we all know, real life happens to all of us. And sometimes we just don't have that time to slow down our morning routine enough to be mindful enough to name everything for our child, to tell them what they're doing, to talk about where they're going or who they're going to interact with. But if you want your child to be exposed to these words and have understanding of them so they could build up the capacity to use them verbally, this is something that you really have to do. So I hope that this helps. And like I told you, this is the beginning of a series that I want to start with you, and I want to make it real for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to embed a short clip, and I'm going to tell you right now, it is a clip from years ago that I was able to pull off of one of my old Samsung phones, and it is a clip of me and my son when he was a baby, us at the park. And you will just see how I'm engaging with him, how I'm listening to him. And I'm not telling you that any of these words have been used, but you will see where I'm kind of following his lead. I'm saying words and he's mimicking them. He's imitating those words, back to me. And then when he points something out to me, I make it my business to give him the language for that as you transition from one thing to the next. Just something as simple as what you're going to see is what you can do to make sure that you're always incorporating language within your child's day. And I will say in this part of the video, my son was probably about anywhere between 16 to 18 months because he didn't start walking till 16 months. So he had to be anywhere between 16 till about 18 months old.
Ashton. I'm going to pan over and look at these two.
Huh? You want to walk over there?